I got a whole lot of mixed messages in my songs. Am I wrong to feel this way? I got a whole lot of.
Welcome to the Council in the Clutch podcast, episode number 4. It's your boy Cal, and I'm joined today by Rory.
Yo.
Q.
Yep.
And SP. And later we'll have a special guest for you. So we're going to start off today with a little bit of Black excellence and entrepreneurial spirit. Rory, let's go ahead and talk about it.
Man, you know, we're going to kick it off today, man. I got my guy Rashan Gary, played defensive line in Michigan. He's doing something pretty unique. It's never been done before by a guy that's getting ready to get drafted in the NFL. He is starting his own sports agency. So he assembled a team to work with him, but he's expected to see the number 1 pick, like I said. We've never seen anything like this going forward, but I think he's going to set the tempo. What y'all think about somebody that's getting drafted to start their own sports agency?
I believe it's a smart move. I mean, essentially, you're keeping all that money in-house, right? Because you would be paying the agent a specific percentage that you would negotiate on to help you sign that contract, which, I mean, in today's league with the collective bargaining agreement that they have in place, it's not as much of a need for an agent as it used to be.
I agree.
Yeah, piggybacking on that is kind of the same thing. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. Like when he had his mom acting as his manager, and then he consulted an actual agent about the rookie contract. Yeah. It's not too much wiggle room like it was back in the day. Not even back in the day, but more so like with Andrew Luck class. It's not a lot of wiggle room to really negotiate anything. So, you know, if you got a good team or a solid team, you might as well just go in and get all that money for yourself. But at the same time, you know, you got to look at the other side. You know, the same thing is kind of happening with Clutch Sports and you know, Anthony Davis right now.
Yeah,
it might if the guy ends up being good and his clients are there and they all want to play together, it could be. I don't see that happening in NFL, but you know, it might be one of those things where, you know, he has to make a clear divide of his business versus him versus his athletes. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you know, when you talk about LeBron James, you're talking about Clutch Sports. Pretty much, there's no separation. So that's my only fear about it, you know. But definitely good to see a black man do his thing like that.
Facts. That's all it boils down to.
The article I read on Yahoo Sports, man, it pretty much said that he assembled a team. He got a lawyer to handle all the legal things, but his goal is to help athletes down the road. But they want to work with all sports as well, not just football.
Well, that's what's up then. So it's kind of like it's going to probably kind of be similar like the Rock Nation Sports, where technically Jay-Z and Rock Nation Sports aren't necessarily a sports agency. They are, but they more so are trying to help guys manage their money. That was the big thing with Kevin Durant, even though they helped him with his whole, you know, deal and everything, but it's more so they're there for money management for you not to go broke. It's not necessarily a sporting agency first.
But I think this guy is actually going to be an agency first.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's weird because you talked about Lamar Jackson, man. I feel like Ray Lewis was one of the first to get rid of his agent. Because I can't remember the exact year he dropped his agent, but Ray Lewis negotiated his contracts with the Ravens for the latter end of his career. And he made a lot of money in that back end. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. I mean, it's like, I don't know what agents take. That's more so y'all expertise, the business guys. I don't know what percentage they take, but it's when you factor in those millions, that's a big percentage. So
if I'm
whatever
not
you can
mistaken,
keep in your pocket.
I believe the NFL percentage is 3%. Is the max they can take. It might be 5, but I believe it's 3. But even then, if you think about it, if you give your agent 3%, you making that kind of money, you're going to have a tax advisor, a financial advisor. So you probably giving out 3% here, 3% there, 3% there.
Yeah,
so you
might
can take away the
mess
agent
around
fee.
you at 12-15%.
Yeah, and that ain't even taxes included. You at 12%, and you ain't even paid the government, and they coming for 100%.
And just to go back off of what we were talking about earlier, as far as there not being a lot of wiggle room for rookies coming into the league and that first contract that they sign, what do you guys feel about? Because basically, in that collective bargaining agreement from 2011, they took those funds that the rookies had and negotiate for those contracts and kind of gave them to the veterans and NFL retirees. You think that was the right move?
Yeah.
Well,
that's my bad, Cal. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, well, you got to take care of your vets, like just like you do in the Army, Navy, you know, U.S. Armed Forces. Same with the NFL, because they beat their body up. At the same time, you got rookies coming in, you know, hopefully you'll be in the league long enough to get that pension and everything. But I feel like that was the right move because, you know, a lot of those vets are beat up, man. Those, like, they hunched over, you know, health insurance ain't what it's supposed to be. So I feel like that was the right move as far as for the company side and NFLPA.
What were we going to say, Rory?
Yeah, and to piggyback off what Kyle said, I agree. It was the right move solely because the veterans are proven. And I mean, like, you know, I play arena ball. It's hard to be a rookie and come in and play. Same like the NFL. Most rookies aren't gonna come in and dominate. So you got a guy like Sam Bradford. He was the last guy to get that crazy deal, I believe, with the Rams. He came in and got $100 million off the rip as a rookie. Then you get Cam Newton came a year later. He was only able to get like 25, 26 million. So I think you need to have a cap on the rookies because if they wouldn't have capped it 4 or 5 years ago, it would have been outrageous now thinking about paying a number 1 draft pick. For instance, Baker Mayfield. If they didn't have a salary cap for rookies, the Browns probably would have paid him $100 million. So you got to protect your investment. Now, I do believe the NFL is robbing the guys. They're the only league that doesn't have fully guaranteed contracts. I mean, I get you don't want to put all the money out there, but the simple fact that the NFL sends each owner a check at the beginning of the season for licensing, that's a little bit more than the payroll itself for the salary cap. You know who really stealing the money.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different lane right there we could talk about.
Whole different. But look, we ain't gonna talk about the somebody getting in trouble. See, look, hey, well, at least they pay the players though. NCAA, you know, we talked about that a while back, but it's
trash.
Trash. They rob you and don't pay you.
But we give you scholarships.
We give you an education that you won't use.
I bet they gonna they paying for education to give you tutors to do your work for you so you can get to the league.
Yeah. And then
exactly.
You back at home working the same job you had before you left for college.
Fact.
And they'd be the same ones. They're the same ones that pay for your scholarship. But when you want to be a doctor or engineer and your class schedule conflicts with your actual practice conflict, I mean your practice schedule, it's a problem.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I don't get that, man. I mean, they get what they want.
NCAA gonna be a weekly topic.
Right.
Yeah,
they trash.
They gonna be we don't like them.
Yeah, not at all.
They're gonna be a weekly topic.
Until I get me a check in the mail.
Exactly.
It could be a 5-cent check, and I'm gonna change my tune just a little bit. You know, I got to pay a little bit, but they still trash. So as you know, we are a sports and we also are a hip hop podcast, and we rarely even talk about hip hop. But did y'all hear that Cole track that just dropped on Wednesday?
Did I?
Yeah, like everybody did.
We're going to discuss how we feel about it tomorrow. So for the people who actually listen to us and loyal fans, we're going to start another podcast. We're going to do it for the subjects that we don't really want to breach and go through in detail. On this podcast, we're going to do a 30-minute real quick and concise podcast the next day. So look out for that tomorrow. But since we want to talk about hip-hop, got a question for y'all. Who do y'all think had the biggest run in hip-hop history? Well, you can say history or in your memory. And I'm talking individual, and you can go label if you want to go there too.
Rory, I'm assuming you're gonna say Drake.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say Drake, but since you brought it up,
we're not gonna do that today. We're not gonna do that today.
Listen, what do you mean? From 2010 till now, you got Thank You Later, the comeback.
You talking about the dude who don't write his own stuff?
You don't gotta write it. To
be the dude with ghostwriters?
What do you mean?
Like,
listen,
go ahead. No, say your point. Say your point.
From 2009 to 2019, so far gone. Thank Me Later, comeback season. If you're reading this, it's too late. Nothing was the same. Take Care, More Life. Views was alright, but then Scorpion was the best record of the year in 2018. Dog, Drake is the man.
Half of the best record because it was 2 parts of that, and the second part was trash.
The R&B part was okay, but I like the whole thing. You just gotta put it on shuffle, bro. See, y'all be tripping listening to music all the way through.
More Life Drake was tripping.
All right, so we know you're a Drake stan, but
y'all are
hold on. That wasn't an album. That was a playlist. You can't count that. Remember, that was the excuse when it kind of flopped on them. But I mean,
but that's the thing. His playlist is fire than half of these cats' albums.
All right, so what I'm hearing from you, you just named albums. You ain't telling me why. You just said it's fire. Like, what makes it?
The music, bro,
what?
you can relate to Drake. Like, y'all hear Drake playing, you could put Drake on at any time during the day, and you gonna vibe with a Drake album. You could put an Apple station. Shout out to Apple Podcast, by the way, for being one of our #1 distributors. But
No, the number one.
The number one. Sorry, Apple Podcast. We appreciate you. But listen,
matter of fact, we're gonna drop a bomb for Apple real quick.
There you go.
Just because I can do that now, I don't know. It made no sense, but I'm gonna do it just because we can do it now.
Hey, they gave that boy some toys. He don't know how to act in the studio. He's tripping.
What? Come on now. Come on now.
Well, hey, go ahead, Roy.
I've been saying Drake was the GOAT. I don't care what nobody talking about. You could put a Drake playlist on at any time of the day, and you good from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Now, about 10:30, you might want to cut Drake off because he'll have you calling your ex and sipping wine. You got to cut him off in moderation.
Crying.
But during the day, you good. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So, Q, who you think had the best run?
The best run? You already know I'm gonna say Wayne.
I already knew that.
Like that 2000 to right short of 2010. Like, he was on every song that came out. And the songs that he won on, he remixed them, and you don't even know the original version to those songs. You can't. It's nobody that the run that he had, and even outside of him going into the label with the whole Young Money, Cash Money, their whole conglomerate they had going on, including Drake and include Drake, even Nicki when she won't get on everybody's nerves, and like, it was the run they had and the people they had under them was crazy. So I gotta go Wayne, and I don't know. I can't think of nothing.
Hey, did you say the run that they had and the people under them was crazy?
Yeah,
he did. He said the same thing twice.
You know, one of the artists that was under him that was crazy.
I said Drake.
Everybody say.
So that's 2 votes for Drake. That's 2
votes
for Drake. That's 2 votes for Drake.
That's a Wayne vote with the Cash Money influence.
Yes.
Drake,
I'm sorry, the Young Money influence.
Listen, Drake carried him.
What? All right, now.
Drake.
Matter of fact, yo, SP, who you got? SP done ghost on us.
He did,
literally. All right, so we're just gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving. Then he'll pop back in if he needs to. Luxury of this cool new app we're using. But anyway, I'm gonna go with 50 Cent and G Unit.
Okay.
The reason why, if you look back at it, remember last podcast I was talking about the difference between streams and physical sales.
Yeah.
If you go back, technically, Get Rich or Die Trying was the second album. It wasn't the first, but we're gonna just start Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah.
That went diamond, which is 10 million plus sold. Everybody on G Unit went platinum. There's no reason why Tony Yayo should have a platinum album.
That's true.
Tony Yayo went platinum. And then I'm glad you brought up Wayne with the mixtape thing, because 50 Cent was one of the first people to actually start doing the remixes of the whole song. Back then, everybody was just rapping on everybody beat, but it was more so, I'm going to rap on your beat, but I'm going to make it my own. Whereas with 50 will legitimately take your song, take your hook, redo your hook, remake the whole entire song, put a mixtape out of a whole entire mixtape with that. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna say that 50 Cent is Lil Wayne's father when it comes to that portion of it. But I'm gonna say my best run, as far as an individual, would go with 50, because first 3 albums was crazy as far as like sales wise, and then just impact wise. 50 had a crazy impact on the game at that point. He wasn't as crazy as Wayne being on everybody tracks, but he was on a lot of songs. Anything he touched pretty much went platinum. You know, you got the Game. That's a classic album to me. You got Lloyd Banks, Hunger for More.
Yeah, that's dope.
I wouldn't put that as classic, but that's a dope album. Right. And then once again, Yayo had no reason to go platinum, but he went platinum. And Young Buck went platinum. Yeah, Yayo and Buck. Everybody went platinum. Like, everybody on G Unit went platinum on their first album on G Unit. So that's why I'm going to say 50 and G Unit had the best run. Even though it was short-lived, but 50's imprint on that Game kind of led to the Wayne being on every track, remaking every track. So I'm gonna go with 50 for mine and G Unit for the label. Who you got, SP?
Very valid points there, Kyle.
I appreciate that. Who you got, SP?
Man, I gotta piggyback off a Q with Wayne, man. Just, bruh, he dominated my playlist when in a time in which we started where digital media was popping. You got Napster, you got LimeWire,
Frostwire,
all of those different platforms to download music on and catch viruses on your desktop.
Facts.
I don't know what's wrong with the computer, man. I don't know.
How many computers y'all messed up?
Hey, I ain't saying nothing. My parents might listen to this.
Hey.
Well, my grandma ain't listening, so I know I messed up about 2 or 3 at her house.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is you better delete the history.
Oh, what? Come on.
Wow. Hey, you ain't living right, boy. What's wrong with you? Hey, you
unsavory.
Better delete the history like Hillary's email.
Hey, chill.
That's about to get us cut off every streaming platform, right? So no, I'm joking. But so y'all going? We got 2 Wayne, we got a Drake, unfortunately, and we got 50.
No, we got 1.5 Wayne, 1.5 Drake. Don't cheat me.
Nah, man, Drake is not. He's under the Cash Money umbrella. Matter of fact, SP, who's your label? What's the label that you think had the best run?
That's tough. It probably would have to be G Unit, considering all that you said. You made a really compelling argument.
Oh, no, I'm still...
Like everybody on G Unit went platinum. You can't say that about Young Money because Tiger.
Though that run was shorter than Young Money, it was stronger than Young Money's run.
It changed the game. Like everybody wanted to be in G Unit. Like it changed the game. Like the impact was crazy.
Did y'all ever buy one of them G Unit beaters?
Nah,
man. I won't build like that.
Some people with them though.
I won't build like that.
I won't build like it either, but I had one on.
Hey. You used to wear it on your shoulder pads at practice.
Hey, we had a few teammates that did that.
I ain't want to throw no names out there though.
Yeah, hell, I can think of one right now. He wore a G Unit beater every day to summer conditioning at back at the Crab.
I remember that.
Hold on, does it this his name rhymes with
start with a G.
Yeah.
It was another one. It was another one. Yeah, but I ain't trying to put nobody out like that. But 50 was cool, so it was cool.
T-shirt.
Chill.
Yikes.
Up 1, up 2.
The crazy thing about it though, I was gonna say Rockefeller first, and then I realized like 50 had that impact. Like if you look at Rockefeller, they weren't selling like that.
It was just Jay.
Like you had State Property, you had Kanye, you had Beanie Siegel, you had Freeway separately, you had Christian Young Neve separately, you had everybody separately, but won't nobody putting numbers up.
Nah.
Like G Unit was. But they had a crazy run too. It was, as a matter of fact, it was kind of around that same time because G Unit had that gangster, they had like the gangster thing on lock, and then like Rockefeller had that flashy, like braggadocious style, like they had that on lock. So it was kind of crazy how they were both like going at the same time. But definitely
both
good
from New York too.
Yeah, mostly, and then you got the State Prop branch out of Philly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's still like East Coast hip hop at the same time when it was changing. But good, compelling argument. So,
hey, hold on, is Young Money under Cash Money, or are they two separate entities completely?
It's under. It's Universal Cash Money, Young Money.
All right, so that's why I'm going, because if you want to say that about G Unit, then under Cash Money, you got Wayne, you got Nicki, and you got Drake.
So you got to go. No, you say Young Money though. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm saying. The Young Money, Cash Money, the whole baby over all of that, basically.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we want to go Big Brother and all that, we can't do that. That's too much. We go like Interscope versus Universal.
No, I ain't going.
Interscope clearly. Oh, but they clearly won that because they had M when M was actually hot.
No, I'm not going that high because Cash Money under Universal, and I'm not going that high. I'm going.
Well, technically, they're the distributor. They're not really under them. But I feel you though. But
nevertheless,
I mean, I can't take nothing away from them. You know, even though I'm not a big Drake fan. But hey, for the people who actually listen and think I hate Drake, I actually have so far going on all my devices. It's a classic. After that, can't bang with him. I can't bang with him after that.
Goat man. Yeah, that's him.
Hey, chill. Hey, and
Hey man, in my Shannon Sharp voice, he talking about that Bron James.
Hey,
he ain't talking about
hey, and Jacquees under Cash Money. So
let me see all the
All right,
Drake I
now.
got on my playlist.
hey, chill, hold on.
Comeback season.
Hey, check me out.
Hey,
Jacquees under
Oh yeah,
there.
comeback season 2. Yeah, comeback season 2. Hey, Trey Songz saved this man life twice, man. He got him with The Replacement Girl, which kind of was like that poppy hit that kind of like, oh, this is the dude from Degrassi that he can rap a little bit. And then everybody know what happened at the Successful. So if you're gonna give anybody credit for Drake, you gotta give Trey Songz some credit for that.
We know you on Trey Songz team and all. We know you work for him.
Hey man, look, I'm just giving you the history, man. You gotta know your history.
Hey, in case y'all weren't aware, Kyle and then Trey Songz are first cousins.
We're not even related.
Well, that's what you tell us at least. But every time Kyle hit him up, Trey Songz responds.
All right, anyway.
Am I lying, Q? Am I lying?
Nah, you telling the truth.
All right.
Anyway. All right, what were you gonna say, SP? Are you just checking his catalog right now?
Nah, I was checking the catalog. Nah, it ain't no scrolling for hours.
Boy, you search
the whole community.
Phone up.
Hey, since we keep talking about Drake, hey, shout out to my boy Ben. I just gotta put him out there, put him a plug.
Ben, listen to the podcast. We shouted you out. So you ain't gonna find it. We ain't gonna tell you.
I was about to say we're gonna see if you listen now.
Hey Q, I bet Ben made weight this weekend at the powerlifting competition.
He actually did.
He did, but that's because he moved up. He moved up.
Shots fired.
He preventative measures. He said, "You know what? I'm gonna go in big."
Well, Q
I squatted 500 pounds. I squatted 500 pounds. I don't care what you say.
Oh yeah, to the listeners, Q is officially joined the 500 club pound. I mean, I said I can't talk. 500 pound club with the squats. He's a strong dude.
Chill.
He benches over 300 now. He's just flexing.
I already benched over 300.
Hit him with the bomb. Hit him with the bomb.
Matter of fact, go ahead, man.
Jesus Christ.
Drop one of flex his bombs for Q.
Y'all done?
No, the bomb's still going. All right, there we go.
All right.
Shout out to the pressure on. All right, off of that hip hop topic, now we're gonna get back to sports. What do you guys think about the lack of support in the African American community for baseball?
I think we need more help. It's terrible at the moment. I think mainly with baseball, as we all know, I played Little League growing up, but as I got older, it just wasn't exciting. And yeah, it's expensive.
It's expensive, and that's what it is for most part. Baseball, damn near be like year round, and it's like I said, it costs too much money. Most people, parents ain't trying to play for them to do baseball, and then they playing football and they playing basketball, they running track, or they at some point parents they want a break, and meaning in our culture we don't, for the most part, baseball ain't the number one priority. So that's not
well.
Go ahead, speak.
Here you go.
Oh, just piggybacking off of what you just said, Q. I mean, when you talk about inner cities, a lot of times African Americans is tagged to that. And when you look at athletics, particularly professional sports in inner cities, I would say NBA dominates mainly, with sprinkles, obviously the NFL being I believe, me personally, the NFL is the most popular sport in America, professional. Then you have the NBA. I would say third is Major League Baseball, and to believe that it's only 7% as far as the demographics for the MLB, African American players, 7%, when in, let's say, 1981, you had over 22% of the players in the All-Star game were African American. Numbers are staggering as far as just the decline in African American participation in the game, and I think a lot of that points to, like I said, inner city. You brought up a good point as far as the cost, and when you're thinking about going to different games, cleats, the different practices, and like you said, year round. I feel like I can kind of relate a little bit with that in the wrestling aspect, because wrestling is very similar in that cost department when you're talking about the participation.
Yeah, you're right about that. And I think on side of that, facilities play a big part in that. I think we all can attest that growing up, we all seen baseball fields at all the elementary, middle schools, high schools. But when you don't have anybody to keep the facilities up, you're not gonna just go set up a baseball game in the middle of the street, or you're not gonna just go play in the middle, of a school lot.
I mean, that's how everybody played growing up.
Yep.
Yeah,
You find an open lot and just go at it.
But kids don't even go outside the same anymore.
Yeah, that's also true. That probably
ain't nobody outside.
That probably plays
a
big part in it too. Just kids are inside, like you said, on the phones.
I mean, the
tablets.
kids that are outside are the ones that are in the inner cities, and there's nowhere to play baseball in the inner cities like that.
Yeah, basketball courts everywhere.
The entertainment factor as well. Like, there's nothing. It's not like when we were growing up.
It's too slow. It's too slow of a game.
And we were fortunate. Granted, I mean, I think that was the performance enhanced era. But we had Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire. I think that 99, 2000, whatever. They had that home run chase. Them guys went crazy. So we watching Sports Center at the time, and we was going to sleep. But we get up and we see the home run race popping off. And then a year later, you see Barry Bonds hitting 100 home runs, or 72 home runs, 74 finished with. But seeing home runs makes the difference, because that's the only entertaining thing in baseball. You ain't never watched the whole highlight.
Baseball, I was listening to, they were talking about Barry the other day, and they were saying baseball was on a decline going into the late, right before the 2000s started. And that home run situation with him, McGwire, Sosa, all of them, that revitalized baseball. Like it put it back up there because it was exciting. Because like I said, baseball isn't.
Oh, I was about to say, people make the argument.
Go ahead, SB.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, people make the argument that as we speaking on him, Barry Bonds, he should be in the Hall of Fame solely off of being part of that group that revitalized the popularity of baseball for that time frame that it became popular again.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Barry tomorrow?
We are talking about Barry Bonds tomorrow.
All right. On the side. Yeah. Got about to go a little
on our On the Side podcast.
A little on the side. But quick
tune in tomorrow. It'll be dropped on all our performance platforms.
Performance platforms.
Like that, try to make it a weightlifting thing. You feel me?
Anyway, but no, like, hey, SB, like.
Hold on, I gotta drop one.
I'm lagging.
This man said, "Q, you want to weigh in on that one real quick?" That was pretty funny. Roy made it funny.
It would be funny if me missing weight meant anything.
It meant a lot.
It meant nothing.
You'd have won if you made weight.
No, I wouldn't have won if I made weight.
Yes, you would have.
No, I wouldn't have. You clearly didn't look good enough. Who cares?
You came in second or third.
Who cares?
Hey, a medal is a medal.
Who cares?
Exactly.
But back to baseball, though. My take on baseball is just kind of what everybody's saying. It's just, for one, as African American, most of us aren't coming up with the privilege of having the funds to be able to just go play baseball all year, or when we want to play baseball. So you got the travel expenses, you got the equipment, you got all that stuff. Then on the back end, let's say you do make it. It's not that instant gratification like it is with the NFL and the NBA, where you're going to get that check, you're going to be on the big stage. You got to go through the minor leagues. You got to go through everything just to get to the major leagues. And quite frankly, some of us aren't in that position where that grind is worth it. You'll rather, if you're athletic and you're blessed enough, you're going to take your talent somewhere else, because is that grind in baseball really worth it? That 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 years grinding in the minors, riding on those buses just to get that big payoff. Is it worth it?
Yeah,
some of us need the help now.
Till after the fourth year, so you're right.
Yeah, and it's like some of us are coming out of that situation where we need that money right now. We can't wait 5 years. 5 years change our life in 5 years.
That's the big part. A lot of cats going to the league, NFL and NBA. They need that money. Their parents need that money. Their families need that money. And when I could go straight to the league, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old right then, and we making millions compared to going for baseball. And you gotta, like you said, if you're not that top tier guy going straight to the MLB making that money, you got to come up through the different farm systems, and you're not making millions and millions of dollars. So sometimes you're still trying to support yourself. Some cats might have other jobs outside of that, like if they're in single A and maybe double A. I don't know how much money they make exactly, but to be able to support your family, the flash and what you see is cats playing football, especially basketball, because you can get your league. You be 19 years old.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
baseball is the thing with baseball is beautiful. The fact that there's no salary cap, but a lot of us can't afford that luxury of waiting to get to the point where we're gonna get that big payoff, like to get those $200-300 million contracts. It's just like you got to think about it. Like when you think about the breakdown of it, it's more Spanish people or Latin people, to be correct, in baseball than there's African Americans. For one, a lot of them are playing baseball their whole life. They're doing it literally from the dirt. So their expenses aren't like ours. We don't have any leagues where you can just show up. Out there, they're playing with bare minimum. Out here, you got to have the best glove. You got to have the best cleats. You got to have, the best bat and all those things. So a lot of them, like once they get that chance to either come here legally or illegally, they got, some scandals with Cubans and all that stuff like that. But however they can get over here, not at all. But I wasn't even talking about the Mexican. I was talking about like the Cubans. Like a lot of them get popped for being illegal. Like they change their name, they change their age just to get to Major League Baseball, but they're getting that payoff. But their grind is a little bit different than it would be for us. So I think it's just more so like a social economical thing, as SP may say, as far as why baseball wouldn't be successful, or not successful right now in the African American community, because there's so much going on with it to get to what we initially want to get. It's just the payoff's not there.
Yeah. One thing I do like about baseball though, their draft process. You can get drafted out of high school, but they give you the option to accept your draft position or go back to college. And then after 2 years in college, you can get drafted again. You can either decide to come out and play, or you can finish your college degree. And at that time, you re-enter the draft. I think if you're a top round picks, the team that drafts you after the first 2 years in college, they hold your rights. But then they can either keep your rights or they can relinquish them and let you re-enter the draft. But they actually give players options.
Yeah, they do that a lot with the NFL quarterbacks who that play baseball. They kind of just, for fun, keep their rights. Just kind of keep them, just like Russell Wilson. He's technically a Yankee. Go to spring training and all those things like that. So they kind of do that just for fun. But that is a good thing about it. You have the freedom to decide what you want to do. Kind of like Kyler Murray. He's playing both sides of the fence, like what I want to do right now. He committed to the NFL, but at the same time, he still had that $4 million and negotiating for more right now, just sitting there waiting for him.
Has there been any update on him yet about as far as did he take the money, or did he say he's just gonna focus on football?
I haven't seen anything, but I saw him throwing passes to Antonio Brown. So if that says anything,
hey, can we speak on that real quick? I know that's kind of off script, but bruh, Antonio Brown got to grow up, dog.
Hold on, are we talking about football, or are we talking about that blonde mustache and the goat rings? What are we talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about, the blonde mustache and the goat rings. Like, I think AB's a great player. And he's a top 5 receiver in today's game. But the goat ring, bro.
Yeah, that's something that you don't do, man.
You're not in that category. Like Chad Johnson, he wore the Hall of Fame jacket, but he ain't say the GOAT. He still had respect for the game itself.
And here's the thing. He wore the jacket, but it had HOF ? So it won't even like, oh, I'm a Hall of Famer. It's like, am I a Hall of Famer? So even with that, it left it for interpretation.
Exactly. Like, and he should get in. Chad should make the Hall of Fame at some point. What he did for the game was great. All his numbers aren't the craziest, but he still did some great things for the game. But AB, man, like, I had to talk about it just because y'all know how I feel about wide receivers, man.
Divas.
They just be doing the most, dog.
Him and Odell be like, yes. They be seeing each other stats and be like, yes. Yes. Like, yes, King.
Chill out, bro.
Hey, man, they best friends, apparently. I wonder how Landry feel about that. Yeah. But
where y'all think AB gonna end up? Because I don't think Pittsburgh keeping him.
I don't know. They're talking about. He's trying to force his way to San Francisco right now, really. But I don't know. He going to be playing next year though. So if you want to piggyback on that, what do you think Le'Veon going to be next year?
I think Le'Veon going to the Colts, man.
It makes sense.
Make perfect sense.
And I say that just because they got that O-line is great. And you put him, what's buddy name that they got? I forgot his name. The guy that torched the Cowboys. Dang. I can't think of his name, but yeah, Matt. But you put him and Le'Veon together, and Le'Veon essentially is another receiver too. If Andrew Luck stay healthy, which is a if, That could be a big weapon.
I mean, even if Andrew Luck not healthy, if you get a reasonable backup quarterback, you know, you can make it with some weapons.
They got one. I think Brissett can play.
I mean,
what he showed me in New England in 4 games that Tom Brady was out, on top of the preseason and a couple times he played for Andrew Luck. If you protect him and don't expect him to throw for 600 yards, he can win you.
That's the thing. You got to protect him. That line got a lot better though.
Yeah, they spent their money on. They spent their draft picks wisely.
One of those they didn't really mean to rebuild. It's cool.
I know we try not to talk about the league, bro, but
hey, whatever happens. I mean, it's the league.
Off the script, it's the league, dog. You got to give them their time sometimes. You feel me?
Hey, whatever comes up, man. It's not like we're getting paid to do this, right? Ain't nobody feeding us.
But if you want to pay us to do it,
we definitely would take any offers. Let us keep
counsel in the clutch.
Hey, anybody out here trying to take us, we keeping our creative control, yo. We're not budging. We're not budging.
And we're not signing over our publishing.
Nope. You ain't gonna Birdman us, son.
No, at all. You gonna run this show our way.
All right, so sorry for the threatening messages, but seriously though, if anybody trying to pick us up, let us know. But we are serious about that creative control though. We'll take some info, but you know, this our thing. Anybody out there listening?
100%.
But so
anybody.
Enough with the pandering.
Drop a bomb on these mother lovers.
Matter of fact, since we can do it, might as well.
There you go.
All right, so we about to close it up real quick. So once again, you know, we really been abandoning hip hop overall, besides like the Soulja Boy thing. So just want to kind of play a little game real quick, kind of more so for our fans who actually are like hip hop heads, who like lyrics other than just trap music. You know what I'm saying? So I got 5 songs I'm gonna get you guys, and you know, we're just gonna see who had the best verse. And you know, if y'all feel like, you know, somebody else had the better verse and we didn't say it, definitely comment on the page and let us know who you think had the best verse on the song. All right, so we're gonna start off first with I think it's one of the more modern classic songs. We're gonna start off with "Monster" by Kanye West. Who y'all think had the best verse?
Kanye. I think he did, at least. When I listened to it a couple times after we talked about it, and I'm not even a Kanye fan, but he killed that jump. That verse was fire. I like Ross' verse too, but I'm biased just because Ross like my older uncle that I don't know.
Yo, Ross though, crazy thing about it, like you put Ross on any song, he always eligible for the best verse, and it ain't even because what he say, it's just how he say it.
It be delivery.
His delivery is crazy. Like Ross on any song.
He got
yeah. It's like you put
he on that mafia flow, so you mobbing with Ross.
It's a few artists that
he went in
no
on
matter
that
what
song.
you put them on, it's gonna sound like they killed that junk. And I'm not being biased when I say this, but I feel like Push is another artist like that. You can just put him on any track, but mostly like if you put him on a slow beat, it don't matter what he talking about. It's gonna sound like he killed the verse. Like Drug Dealers Anonymous, come on, him and Jay were kind of neck and neck on that.
Pusha better chill for Cole end his career.
All right, now let's go ahead. Don't put me in that bind, man. I'm already hurt right now. I'm already hurt with LeBron going to the Lakers, man. I can't have another type of internal fight with myself. but yo, Q, who you think had the best verse on That's Right?
I gotta go with Ross. I can't say Kanye just because he get on my nerves.
Come on, man. We gotta take that.
You gotta take the bias out of
it. I don't have to.
Take the bias out.
Right.
I don't like anything post 2010 Nicki, so I'm definitely not saying her. And J verse was J verse.
All right, SP, who you got? Whew. Okay. All right, so I'm the one kind of in the minority. I think Nicki had the best track. Man. I mean, the best verse. Yo, Nicki killed that.
What?
Nicki killed that verse, man.
What?
Nicki killed that verse.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Nicki, you want to know how I know she killed that verse? I don't even bang with Nicki, but the fact that Kanye West even mentioned like, yo, if I was a hater, I would have took her off the song. The fact that he said if he was hating, he would have took her off that song, that says a lot.
I mean, Kanye said a lot of things in life, so
to me, Nicki had the best verse.
Make America great again.
So yeah, we can't believe everything Kanye say, but hey, you're entitled to your opinion.
I'm gonna rock with Nicki.
Hey, mental is a real thing in the black community, by the way. Y'all check on y'all uncles, cousins, brothers. Tell them go to the doctor. We don't need no more Kanye's running around.
I mean, with mental health in the black community, you know how we treat that. Oh, he's just crazy. That's how we do it, man. But yeah, it's
that's my crazy cousin.
Yeah, but it's getting serious nowadays. But if insurance covers it, we definitely need to take care of that. But moving on to the next song, I put on remix. Who y'all think had the best verse on that?
Facts.
And if y'all don't know, like the listeners, if y'all don't know who's on it, that's the one with Ludacris, Jeezy, Kanye, Ross, and Wayne.
Shit, I'll pop it off again.
That's Speak at Kanye. Who you got, Q?
That is Kanye.
Even though I did just bash Kanye, I'm gonna say Wayne because
you got to stick to your point.
And I'm gonna stick to what I said. But Kanye, he did go off on that. But I'm going with Wayne because it's tune. Come on now.
Who you got, Roy?
This is a tough one. I'm gonna start by saying Ross, but it got to be Jeezy.
Jeezy was tough up there too, though.
Bro, when the beat dropping Jeezy come on, I'm ready to play a game. Like halfway through that verse, I'm ready to hit something.
It's that energy.
Facts. Yeah.
And if you got any type of subwoofer in the whip,
the car shaking. The car shaking.
Yeah,
you going through something. You might get a ticket.
Oh yeah. Now I'm gonna go with Kanye. I feel like that's one of Kanye's best verses, like in general, that he ever spit. That verse is dope to me. All right, so next one we're gonna go Control. That's Big Sean featuring Kendrick Lamar and Jay Electronica. Who y'all think had the best verse there?
I hate Jay Electronica name. I just hate his name. But I'm gonna probably say Big Sean.
Okay.
I'm probably go with Big Sean.
Okay. SP, who you got?
I can't say Kendrick. I just
Electronica. All right, I'm gonna go with. Y'all know I don't really like this guy. I'm gonna go Kendrick. The reason why
against the grain for everything.
That's all he want to be different.
No, here's the thing. The reason why this track, if y'all notice, like after this, niggas won't doing songs together no more. This song is the single reason why niggas don't do like 3+ more songs, because he went at everybody, and that had everybody tight at that point. But just as far as like the verse overall, I do bang with the verse. I'm not really a Kendrick fan at all, but I think he had the best verse on that.
Yeah, I mean,
all right.
Teach them.
So we got a curveball real quick. As Roy said, I like to shout out my cousin every time I can. So we're gonna go with the Invented Sex remix. That's Trey Songz, Usher, and Keri Houston. Who you think had the best verse?
Miss Keri, baby.
I'm with you.
Oh, sorry.
I'm with you. I was gonna be the only one.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Keri Wilson could just look at me and I'm gonna say she got the best verse. Y'all see her Instagram?
I'm trying to figure out who Keri Wilson is though.
I make Keri Hilson. I'm sorry. I started by. I just got caught up. Listen, y'all go follow Keri Hilson on Instagram.
I definitely will.
Bro, she might be the finest woman I ever seen in my life.
Dang, what happened to your girl? What's her name? Sanaa Lathan.
Man, she chopped her hair.
She grew it back though. She grew it back.
Yeah, she grew it back. But what she chopped it the first time,
looking just as bad. Looking just as good.
She was pretty. Hey, she was beautiful with it chopped off, but I ain't trying to rub no bald head, so I ain't.
Hey, look, when it gets to that natural frizzy curly part, like about two, man, I love that.
Yeah, I could do the natural curl, but she shaved that thing to the scalp.
She had a smooth like Caesar with no lineup.
No lineup. That would be killing me, the lineup part, bro.
Hey, she couldn't sacrifice the lineup because it would have grew out uneven.
G.I. Jane.
It just be but ladies, it's nothing against shortcuts. We love short hair. But if you in a relationship, because when Sanaya posted on Instagram and she shaved her head, we hadn't talked in a few weeks. So when I finally seen her shave her head, I was sick. Like I was really right. I had to play the drink at that point.
So remember we talked about mental health in the black community. It's a prime example. This man said we ain't talking in a few weeks. Y'all ain't talking years. What do you mean, ever?
So y'all just gonna hate on our relationship?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna hate.
Bro, y'all seen me and her on it.
It is.
Y'all seen us on Instagram.
I mean, even if that is your girl, a few weeks is a long time.
Y'all photography need to be fired though.
Boy, if you don't get that goddamn.
All right, who you got? SP and Q. Who y'all got?
Hate, bro.
Who y'all got on best verse on that song?
I'm gonna say Trigger just because it's his song.
Word. Who you got? SP.
Bro, I got Usher. Even though he ain't, if you look at the bars, if you read it, he didn't really deliver it.
He was trying to more so flow with the original flow of the
he
song.
put it down on that.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. All right, and last song here, we're gonna go with. A lot of people probably don't know this song. A lot of people not really that deep into hip hop, but it's a song called Murdergram. It's on the Streets is Watching documentary. It's on the soundtrack too. It's featuring Jay-Z, DMX, and Ja Rule. Who y'all got?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I had never heard this song, and I looked it up and listened. But I like Ja Rule verse personally.
Word.
I ain't gonna.
Who you got, Q?
I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't never heard this song up until this point, and I still have never heard this song before. So
he ain't do his homework.
That's the one song I didn't listen to because I don't know. So yeah.
5 minutes later.
Hey, he ain't had it come like that.
This nigga come out of nowhere.
Hey, real quick, what's the name? Hey, Jobverse was alright too.
I said that. I told
you. Yo, Ja could spit, man. Like 50 just killed our image of Ja. All right,
I got DMX. Just because.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know the words.
The first two
bro,
lines.
I was about to say that. That whole first 4 bars was what he was saying matched his, you know what I'm saying, matched DMX, you know what I'm saying, and what he was saying, I don't know. The way he depicted it, it sounded exactly like some DMX. He took the cake on that.
All I'm saying, Q, if you hasn't listened to this song, man, if you ain't listened to this song, the first 3-4 lines of DMX is like, yo, what is he on?
I'm literally in the process of listening to the song right now.
All right, so yeah, it's ruthless. But as far as for that, we're gonna wait on your opinion.
Cause
y'all do your thing.
I heard the first couple of lines, and I'm like, oh. And then when he kept on, when he kept it going, I was like, oh yeah, that is what you are. You doing all that?
Yeah, that's why I picked this song, because there's a lot of songs, like when I was talking to y'all about it, it's not too many songs out now or just recently where somebody it wasn't like a definitive best verse. Like anything Wayne was on back in the day was like, all right, Wayne had the best verse. Whereas back in the day, it's like everybody was kind of going neck and neck. Like it was really like who really had the best bars. Now it's just kind of like everybody just email everything into each other and Wayne just get the best verse. Well, not now, but back in that run.
Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get Council on the Clutch off the ground, we had a lot of questions. How do we record an episode? How do we get our show into all the apps people like to listen? How do we monetize the podcast business? The one place for all of those needs was Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. Having the ability to distribute our podcast to various channels is clutch, and padding my pockets with advertisement revenue is never a bad thing. If you're wanting to start a podcast, there's only one place you should consider. Go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast.
Dear ladies, we wholeheartedly apologize for speaking on your behalf last week. We understand that each woman is an individual and should speak for herself. Oh, nah. You thought it was going out like that? Y'all gonna have to prove us wrong on this one. We ran off at the mouth last week, but this week we got a guest to prove us wrong. Let us know what's going on. All right, so we got our guest here today. We got Kayla in the house.
Hey.
Yeah. So Kayla, got a quick question for you. Did you watch last week?
So No.
Sounds like a nah.
Yeah, she
Right.
definitely didn't pay attention.
So
Hey,
you
we
just
appreciate the
assume that we on
honesty,
some
though.
bull. Yeah. All right. So just to help you out here, we came to a conclusion that women basically want a dude who's not considered a cornball and wants some type of edge in their man. Is that correct to you?
No.
All right. So tell us
Because
what we're wrong.
for me, what is the definition of a cornball?
Are you familiar with Russell Wilson?
Yes.
Man, chill out, bro.
Is he a cornball to you?
Yeah.
No, he is not. Future
Okay.
is a cornball.
Okay, I can see where you're going with that. So explain to the audience, why do you think Russell Wilson is not a cornball from the woman's perspective?
Just how he handles or even deals with Sierra. One, you can just look at their pictures, the videos, whatever, how he looks at her, everything about it. You can just tell that he's just in love with her. Even though I don't know their life, I don't know their business or whatever, but from the outside looking in, that's what it looks like to me. Future sounds like somebody's bitter baby mama. Like, you constantly talking about her. He was just recently talking about him. Like, oh, she doesn't respect him. He does whatever she tells him to do. What is wrong with that? If they married, she should be doing what he tell her to do or whatever, and vice versa. Like, what is the issue with that? But then I think it was in the same interview, he was sitting up talking about how he wants to settle down, but he can't settle down with none of his baby mamas. Like, the nerve. You got, like, how many baby mamas? Like 12? I give him 6 or something like that. But you have the nerve to still be talking about her and what she got going on with her new husband or whatever when you didn't want to marry her. And the fact that this man seems like he's fine, he ain't abusing your child, he treating him the way he should be treated, like he's not a stepchild or whatever, and you just giving him a hard time. I think he's corny.
Well, I do agree on that point. But what would you consider corny in a guy outside of the Future reference?
I feel like somebody's.
Yeah, I got something to say too.
Go ahead.
Real quick. How you gonna say Future? I mean, he tripping with some of the media stuff, but he got a right to know, like, if it's true that Sierra took his son to see Russell before he knew about it, I think that's something that should be talked about if you co-parenting. You can't just have somebody random. It's different. It ain't like they just regular kids. It's a star couple, a star marriage. So something like that gonna truly impact a kid's life if it's out in the media constantly.
True.
I agree, but at the same time, think about who we talk about. Like, Future, how many baby mamas he got? Did he cheat on Sierra when they broke up? Like, before they broke up? Like, so when you decided to act the fool,
so he didn't cheat.
Shut up. When he decided to act the fool, I feel like I tell my significant other all the time, there are no rules to disrespect. I feel like if he disrespected her, what is the issue with her moving on with her life? Like, me personally, if I was in that situation, yes, I feel like if me and my husband, for whatever, we divorced or whatever, I'm not married, but we divorced or whatever, we didn't have kids, then he decides to move on. I want to meet that woman. Like, I want to know who's around my child. And same thing for whatever man I decide to be with. I would feel like all of us need to be able to, meet and talk to each other, whatever. I agree with that. But at the same time, it's just like, think about who he is. Like, you have multiple baby mamas, like, and you see nothing wrong with that. Don't he got 2 women pregnant right now?
I have no idea. I don't follow Future.
How about I only follow his life?
I hope he don't.
We got fact check.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did, though.
Because he just said something about Wendy Williams, because she was like, oh, he probably has another baby mama on one of her shows, and he was like, I got more money than Wendy Williams or whatever. She was like, nah. But he has Joey, who is Bow Wow's baby mama. He got her pregnant, and it's another girl too after this morning. Like, I don't know for sure, but I could have sworn there was 2 girls pregnant right now by him. But I'm just like, you have no leg to stand on. Don't tell me how I need to be raising my child when you know. I mean, it's their child, yes. I do agree that at some point they should have all linked up, but I did hear him mention in that same interview, like, oh, once she decided to do that, that was it. I don't want to meet him now. Well, if you don't want to meet him, stop talking about it.
He hurt.
I'm a chime in real quick.
Hurt.
From the beginning, what we was talking about to what you talking about, I think we all agree as far as Future being, I don't know, we can basically call him a cornball for the situation, how he handled the situation. But for the question that we were asking you, not as far as what Future is a cornball, as in what he does, as far as like how he acts, how he carries himself. We're asking you, what do you consider a cornball in a guy in general?
I feel like a cornball is somebody who is pretending to be somebody that he's not. Like, if you are naturally a geek or a nerd or, like, I don't know, whatever, like, just be that. Don't try to fake it and try to be somebody else for me. Like, be yourself, because 9 times out of 10, if that's who you are, I peeped that from the beginning, and that's what what I was attracted to. So just I feel like anybody who's trying to be somebody other than what they are, like, just be yourself. That's corny to me. Like, I don't know, but
Okay.
maybe I'm weird. I don't know, because I like corny personally. I don't give a damn. Like, I feel like I'm slightly corny. I definitely do.
Hey,
I
every
definitely.
girl
I mean,
say they like somebody that's corny. The nigga be really corny, and they be like, well, I don't know.
It depends on what you're calling corny, though. Like,
that's what we asking you for, though. We asking you, what do you personally consider corny? Because for us, our argument was, as far as males, right? As far as men, we consider Russell Wilson corny because the way he carries himself. Like, he's like a
no, not
he's
like
like
fine.
No, not as far as his relationship. We're talking about as far as like,
yeah,
exactly. Like being
I like him as a person.
Yeah, he's probably cool people.
He's fine. I don't care. Like, Russell Williams is fine. He can get these panties. So
Russell Williams, though.
Yes, he really. I mean, Wilson.
Russell Williams is, though. I don't know.
I don't even know who Williams is, but Wilson, yes, he is fine. And I don't know about all the other stuff. Like, I don't pay attention. I guess some people say stuff is corny as far as people dressing or whatever. You can change that. I've dated somebody who couldn't dress. Like, I bought him clothes. Who cares? Like, I have friends who complain about stuff like that now. Like, oh, he's corny. I don't like what he wears. His shoes is ugly. Buy him some. Like, I don't care. Like,
hey, you better.
If you like that person, then I don't know. I feel like if you like that, if you genuinely like that person or love that person or whatever, invest in them. Whether it's their clothes or whatever. Like, I dated somebody who couldn't dress, and that's what I did. I bought him clothes. I bought him shoes. Like, so he's not with me looking crazy.
Shout out to the chicks that got that mindset.
I'm telling you. I'm looking
I know somebody who bought their man something, and he just refused, like a fly ass. So I'm not gonna say what it was because I don't want to put their business out there.
They're probably not gonna listen anyway. That's cool.
But still, no, they might. But bought something, and this fool was like, "Oh, I don't know what." He would never wear it, and it looked way better than anything he had. And she ended up taking it back and getting her money back like 4 months later. And he was like, "Oh, I still don't know where it's at." And the whole time she had took it back. Like,
oh snap!
So, some guys, I guess, just don't. I don't know.
All right, so I guess we got a difference of opinion on the definition of corny. Because when we were looking at him, it was more so, and we don't mean to pick on him or anything, but it's more so, it came up kind of on the spur. We was talking about that picture of the video of him pushing Sierra in the cart, and we was like, "Yo, Russ, nah." Before he was with Sierra, nah. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it wasn't nothing wrong with the video. It was just like girls on Twitter talking about how they wish they had a man to push them in the cart. It was really one of those type of things.
Really Russ in a relationship with Sierra, fine, that's cool.
He's way different than his last girl. His last girl, man.
Everything that he's doing with Sierra is
though, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man,
right, I ain't gonna say, yeah, okay.
All right, let's just put it out there. She was white, but she was like, yeah, but at the same time, so if we want to talk about like corny or not, as far as a woman, you know, we're all the same age pretty much. Me and you actually are the same age, same birthday. Shout out to you for that. But as far as for that though, what do you like? As far as in our age range, what do you notice that your friends are more so looking for in men and yourself? Like, what do y'all look for?
For me personally, I'm looking for, or what I looked for was, I don't know, somebody who a leader, cultivator, like somebody I can trust. I mean, it's not really as far as, I'm not gonna say looks, because looks, they matter, but just really somebody who, a man, like to me, like you doing what you're supposed to do. You making sure I'm good. You making sure we good. Just, I don't know, like. I just want somebody that different from when I was younger, and now I'm looking for more of a future. So I want somebody I can trust. I can actually trust you to lead. I can trust you to make certain decisions. But I'm just like, you know what, he got us. Like I don't have to question that, because me, I have one, my mouth is bad, and I'm working on that. But and I'm used to doing a lot of things on my own, so it's like I would step on certain, like, a man's feet. Like, I'm not allowing them to be a man. So I just want somebody who is able to be a man. I can actually trust you to be a man. I can get information, like knowledge from you. Like, you can mold me, like teach me some things. I could teach you some things. Like, I don't know. If somebody's just like comfortable, look, she need to share it. but yeah, just, I don't know. Somebody that's you comfortable, you know who you are, and you ain't playing games. Like, I ain't got time for no games. I have, look.
That's where I was gonna get to.
who knows me personally, but people will say, some people have said this before, Kayla, you've had a few boyfriends. Yes, I have. That is because I don't deal with bullshit. If you show me that you are, I don't care about the whole social media thing, posting whoever. I'm cool with whatever. Whoever I'm dealing with, I'll post you, whatever. It don't matter. That don't matter to me. But once you show me that, this shit is not going nowhere, then I will replace your ass. Like, I am all for replacing a nigga. You don't want to get your act together, somebody else will. Like, it's too many people in this world for me to spend time begging one man to get it together. So
I can imagine right now if any females will listen. Well, when they listen to this, they're saying,
"Yes, queen, speak. Yes, queen, speak, queen. Speak your piece, queen."
They say that, but they do not believe it. Like, I have so many friends who I tell them, I'm like, girl, like, do you know how many men it is out here? Like, it's entirely too many for you to be stressing, crying, begging anybody to get it together. And that goes for men too. Like, if your girl don't want to act right, replace her. It's just plenty.
Well, you in Atlanta, so you ain't got that many pickings.
People say that. Everybody has this thing about Atlanta, but people say that. But what I will say is, I feel like in other cities and other states and stuff, if you're referring to being gay, a lot of gay guys are what they say on the down low or whatever in other places, because it's not as accepted as it is down here. You can walk down the street and see plenty of gay guys dressed in drag, dressed in whatever, and they will not approach like a straight guy. You know what I'm saying? They're not like disrespectful or anything. So I feel like it's more accepted down here. Me personally, I haven't ran into dated a guy that was on the down low that I would know of. You know what I'm saying? I never even thought about it. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't have any issues. I will say, I guess this is another topic for whatever, but I tell people all the time, they always say that about Atlanta, oh, it's gay guys down here. What I will say is, it's a different type of tricking off down here. Let's just say that. Like, I've dated guys in Virginia, and they all like, oh, I'm not spending this, I'm not doing that. Guys in Atlanta, I've had guys come up, tell me I'm beautiful, buy me a drink, have conversation with me, buy the drink, and walk off. Don't ask me for my phone number. Don't ask me to see them late. Like, nothing. Like,
they setting that scene for later.
Yeah.
I'll catch you later, or I'll see you next time, or whatever. No, nothing. Just walk off. Like, oh, have a great night. I'm like, damn, did my breath stink? Like, what? Like, but it's like, right, that's all. Yeah, it's like, it's not uncommon for guys to do that. We was out before, me and my friend Shanice. And dude,
shout out to Shanice.
Dude paid for my food, and my food was like, it wasn't crazy. It was like $60, but he paid for it. Gave this lady a tip. See, look, oh no, paid for it. Gave me a tip. Was like, oh, what's your IG? We exchanged IGs because he like DJs and stuff, and I never heard from him again. Like,
you don't think that's creepy? A guy asks you for your IG after you pay for your food?
No,
not in this day and
age. He's a DJ.
Yeah, that's
almost like get that than a number.
Yeah, that's like exchanging numbers, pretty much.
But no, because I literally never heard from him again, ever.
Oh, he watched you.
He was sitting there waiting.
Oh, yeah,
but hey, matter of fact, something like that happened one time we was out. I don't want to put any names out or any people, but y'all remember that time we was at Buffalo Wild Wings and the waitress was trying to get IGs.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
yeah, I know.
Exactly I don't think SP won't hear that day, but yeah, it's funny because she'd rather get the IG than the number. But
she got a man, that's why.
Probably,
I wouldn't be surprised. But she definitely was like, "Can I get your IG?" But he gave it to her. But anyway, as far as for that, it's funny that you talked about the What'd you say? I guess you've got to mute yourself. But by you was talking about the gay guys in Atlanta. The funny thing about it, I had a teammate that was from there, and he was like, and he go to certain malls, like those dudes be so out there. And like you said, they won't even, I guess it's Linux.
Yes.
But dudes are so out there, either you're going to not get bothered or you're going to have a dude so aggressive, you're going to be scared. Like,
But
he
you
was
know
like,
what? The dudes be aggressive when it's dudes who are visiting. Like, when they come in for Pride, it be crazy. They be in the streets. Like, it be crazy. People who are visiting. But the ones who actually live here, I've never witnessed that or ever heard any, like, straight guy, like, oh, this gay guy was, like, all up on me. I had to punch him in his shit or, like, whatever. Like, I've never heard that down here, ever.
Okay.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Well, so what you're saying is for the ladies out there in Atlanta who may or may not listen, the opinions aren't that slim as we think everywhere else.
No, I tell people all the time, like, they're like, oh, it's not that many guys to choose from, even when they're not even talking about as far as the gay stuff. They're talking about how many women it is down here to men. The thing is, there are a lot of women down here who have their shit together. So what I have to offer, a million other females in Atlanta have that same thing to offer, if not more. Like, it's like, it's not like, you know, I'm like, I don't know, like I'm popping or some shit. Like, no, it's plenty of other women who have their shit together and doing what they're supposed to do and have what I have, if not more. Like, it's not uncommon to meet like successful Black women down here.
That is a fact.
Yeah, it's like, you know, every female you meet down here isn't going to be like some bum got not nothing against roommates, but you know, like maybe 10 people in an apartment, or still, even if you live with your parents, there's nothing wrong with that either. But you're going to find a lot of women who own their own stuff, own businesses, doctors, lawyers, drive nice cars. Like, it's not uncommon down here. So I feel like that's the thing. Like, guys have a huge selection.
They're not all on IG just doing hair, huh?
Yeah, no. I mean, there's plenty of those too, but it's a lot of women who have their shit together down here. Nah.
Oh, hey Roy, you looking at a different Atlanta IG, man.
Yeah.
Probably.
A lot of them are bottle girls and stuff like that too, but no, it's a lot of just successful women down here. Whatever your definition of successful is, but yeah.
Cool. So, anybody got any other questions for Kayla?
Nah, she pretty much wrapped that whole Russell Wilson Future thing up.
Yay!
Future's the cornball, not Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Yes, Future.
He's still kind of corny though.
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Well, I'm trying to be Mrs. Cornball. Then
no,
I don't care.
I do got a question for you. So you explaining cornballs for guys. What do you consider, like, I guess, a female version of a cornball?
I don't know. I feel like I could be a little bit harder on females than I am on men, but
yeah, that's why I asked.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't like females, one, who are asking for things of men that they can't do themselves.
Preach.
Like, I don't know. Like, I for real, like, I like nice things or whatever, but I can also buy my own night. Like, I can buy my own shit. So if I'm expecting, like, I heard somebody mention this before about dinners and stuff. A guy, they was arguing on Facebook, was like, oh, if I'm spending $100 on a dinner, then she better be giving me some ass. I'm just like, first, one, you're entitled. Two, what is $100? And three, like, why do you think that? It's just so many questions. Like, why do you think that that's okay to even say that out your mouth? I don't know. For me personally, I've been to dinners that we spent $500 on a dinner.
Sheesh.
Well, goddamn.
Yeah.
That's an anniversary right there.
But it wasn't even an anniversary. It was literally a date, and it was in Miami. It's a restaurant called Bart and G. It's amazing. If y'all should go.
Hey, we don't get our free plugs here. Ain't nobody paying us.
Well, it's amazing. But to tell you, I went there with this guy, and our tab was $500, if not a little bit more. But the first time that I went, I took myself, and my tab was $200. So I'm not expecting anything from a man that I can't provide for myself.
Strong, independent Black woman.
What do they serve there that's $500 worth?
Well, it's like super extravagant. So yeah, it's like super extravagant. So like I ordered the steak when I was eating beef, but I had the steak and it comes out with this huge fork and knife that's probably like maybe 3-4 feet tall, and it like sits across on the table. Yeah, everything is extravagant over the top, but on top of that, the food is amazing. Like it's not just extravagant and just looks pretty. It's the food is really really good too.
So she paid $400 for a big ass fork and knife with a
that you can get from your grandma.
Shit,
Nah,
you get it off the wall.
Grandma got that.
On the wall.
No, but like, or like the popcorn shrimp, which was the appetizer, it actually comes out in a whole popcorn machine. Like, and they sit it on the table.
Yeah.
Like,
they extra.
It's very extra, but it's really, really good.
Hey,
I'm gonna tell you right now.
If she too good for the 2 for $20 at Applebee's, you don't need to.
A little 4 for 4.
Yeah, I mean, other than that though, I mean, so you said
I think
everybody.
That's corny. I just really think that's corny. Like, don't be expecting that from
joking.
nobody. Oh.
He was joking with the 2 for $20. Roy's a
No, I don't like Applebee's, but I eat Friday.
Bro, you tripping, bro? It's serious as hell, bro.
But no, you right though. As far as like the men feeling entitled that they spend X amount of dollars, they gonna get some.
Yeah, I mean, like that's no. That's not gonna work.
See, the key to that as a male is if you're going to be spending that money, what is your intent?
Facts.
Yes.
Like, are you spending that money to try to get some, or are you spending that money to try to build? You know, because if you're out there spending that money just to get some, first of all, your radar is all wrong. If you're spending that money, you don't get anything.
Exactly.
I feel like most dudes know when that time is there. Like, come on now.
About 500, you might as well have a ring with you.
What? Come on now.
No, I didn't have more and ain't been was I even in a relationship then? But yeah, like no. It just depends. I think it just really depends on the guy. Like it just depends on the guy. And like, for example, people always like I post certain stuff and they be like, "Oh, yo, dude, he be tricking off." Before I was like actually dating him, "Oh, he be tricking off," and y'all know the saying, "It ain't tricking if you if you got it." And that's the thing I had to tell a dude like. It's considered tricking to you because I feel like you don't make the amount of money. Yes, you don't make the amount of money to say, to be able to make these moves or to do these things. So you're like, oh, I would never spend this amount of money on this or spend this amount of money on that. That's because you don't make enough money to do it from the get-go. So
I can agree with that.
Yeah, like you're gonna say, "Oh, I would never do this." It's just because you don't have it to do it. That's all it is.
Well, some men have it and they just don't see themselves doing it too, just by how they were raised. Like, if it ain't your wife, don't treat her right. I'm joking. No, but
oh my god,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh my god.
Come on, y'all all know me. I'm not like that. Y'all know me. But no, seriously though, like it's chill, man.
Oh man,
you be the only one. But no, seriously though, as far as like sometimes like just coming from the guy's point of view, like even if I have it, it depends on like really what my goal is with you. Like if I'm just going on like a quick date just because somebody asked to go on a quick date, I don't think I'm gonna be spending $500. But if I'm trying to build with you, it's gonna get to that point. But I don't think I'll do that off rip.
Yeah, that's one of the things you kind of start off. You get this your regular casual date. And then you kind of build, like you said, you kind of build from there. But you can't just out the gate, first date, we dropping $300, $400.
That's set expectations. That's set expectations because at that point, if I drop $500 first date, what are you expecting?
Then I can't go get you a full after that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Right.
We can't just watch Netflix.
Yeah.
I haven't had a first date where they spent $300, $400, $500. It wasn't the first date.
Okay. I'm just making sure they're not out there like that,
First
I know T-Pain said it, it ain't tricking if you got it, but that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's even he said it like that, but still, sometimes it's kind of like, all right, bro. Even if you got it, that's cool, but
you're showing off.
All right now. Come on.
You're showing off now.
Yeah. Because
I think that's all.
A lot of guys do that, trying to, like she said, or like we were saying earlier, trying to get ass or trying to impress a chick or whatever the case may be like that. When most of the time,
stop doing that.
Yeah, but I say most of the time it ain't like that.
She said that's
stop
fine.
doing that. Yeah, no,
that's for the listeners.
Stop doing stuff to impress females because we already have our mind made up if we gonna give you the coochie or not. Like we already have our mind made up if we just gonna do it or not. Like you don't have to do all this extra stuff. She knew from the moment you hit her up or she seen you whether she was gonna give you some ass or not.
I've heard women say that before too.
Yes, we already know. Like, we know.
I mean, y'all should definitely let us know then, so we can know. You know,
that would be helpful. It would be helpful. We could just like skip half of it and just go straight to the part.
Budget properly. You know, yeah.
Open the garage.
Nevertheless, though,
nobody opened the garage, man.
Who's that?
That was Todd. My bad.
Oh, I thought that was SP.
Yeah, it sounded like SP.
I was like,
yeah, for real. Keep the garage closed, dog.
Hey, don't open the garage. It might be somebody outside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, they get down those ATL streets.
Zone 6.
Zone 6. Zone 6. Shout there by the bluff, but no.
Stupid, all that.
But so everybody good
here?
Yeah.
Kayla,
right, so
Kayla, we appreciate you coming up and giving us a little insight and whatnot.
All right, no problem.
No problem. And ladies, that don't mean everybody can just ask if they can come on the show. This is not going to be a weekly thing. All right, Kayla, I'll get at you later.
Hey, and that's a wrap. We appreciate y'all tuning in to another episode of Counsel in the Clutch, brought to you by Cal, Q, Demo, SP, and SAP, and yours truly, your boy Roy. We are available on all major platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. Y'all be sure to follow us on IG and Twitter at Counsel in the Clutch. And tune in. Until next time, we out.